It was very casual. We were just kind of walking off the field, and he was like, "So what you gonna do?" I said, "I'm gonna come back next year." He was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'm excited. Let's go to Atlanta." And I was like, "Yes, sir. Let's make it happen."
99% of the people in this world want to be great. Would you agree with that? Yeah, they're called wannabes. 1% work to be great. Drop the mic on that.
If it hurts, game breaks, we'll get you, don't let us put on more steam. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game. Ball, obstacles, block, cut, sides, through the game, tackle, this win it is. Rush it again, here for the first minute. Carry everybody, keep it there for 60 minutes.
There on the field, the pride of the Southland band crisply marches into the Giant T. The rear, the roar of 97,000 fans rises with each rhythmic step. In the background, George Beaches is singing "Fight, Balls, Fight." The orange and white Shakers flood the air. The Volunteers are ready at the north end of the football field to burst through the gate. They're coming now, racing onto the field through the Giant T. In that magic moment that says, wherever you are, it's football time in Tennessee.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley.
I'm Dauber.
I'm Gabriel.
I'm the X Factor.
And it is, I don't even know what day it is. It's Tuesday. It all blends together. It all bleeds together. The celebration rolls on. That's the beauty. That is the beauty of the Talkin VAWLS Network. We celebrated so much that we had to do 2 post-game shows. So why not just keep that celebration rolling? Let's open it up for a fan call-in show on this Tuesday night. The link is out there. It is out there for all the members of the Elite. That's the people that donate at $10 per month. So you guys have the link if you want to go ahead and jump on here. Before we get rolling, though, I got to show this brand new spanking T-shirt merchandise that we dropped today. You guys love the Buck Family shirts. But guess what? We beat Bama. Bama's in the rearview mirror, so there's only one thing to do, and that is celebrate, and that is with this, the brand new It's Just Business Tennessee, Alabama scoreboard T-shirt. Vols 52, Bama 49. Check out that cigar. Diver, wouldn't you love to smoke a cigar that looked like that? I mean, look at this logo design. I love it. I love it. It's just business. It's just business.
Hey, that's a little rub towards old Hank T, if you didn't know. So, man, good stuff. One of my friends sent me a text. They're like, man, I love this. I'm like, what are you even talking about? And then I saw it. I was like, man, that's pretty sweet.
Well, dude, here's the funny thing. Here's how it started. First, let me thank Michael for becoming a member of the channel. We appreciate that support. Then this dude right here, JBD Holmes. Thank you for becoming a member. He actually tweeted at me, and he said, Boogie, we need a shirt that's got the score and says it's just business. And so I started thinking about it, and I texted my brother, and I was like, I want this, but let's somehow get a cigar incorporated. And the way every T-shirt design works, it's like I send him an idea. He creates something. He sends it back, and I'm like, no, we got to do this, move that, tweak this, change that, send it back. And I'm like, I wish we could get Talkin VAWLS somewhere incorporated on the cigar. Then it comes back with this beauty, and it's got the freaking TriStar as like the cigar. It's like, it's perfect. It is absolutely perfect. He knocked this one out of the park, but you can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Pick up your brand new Talkin VAWLS. It's just business scoreboard t-shirt. Somebody asked me today, Boogie, you going to leave that one up for a while? Because it's going to take a couple of... That one ain't going anywhere. Do not worry, guys. That one's not coming down. So take your time, but go pick it up. bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. But shout out to JBD Holmes for the idea. I sent him a free shirt. I said, send me your address, your size. I'll send you a free shirt for the idea. So we appreciate that. Zachary Cagle becomes a member of the channel. Look, we're going to run down the chat. We're going to talk about who all is here, but let's just freaking fire it up. Let's get these members of the elite on here. Trucker Dougie's in the house. Nate's here. Smoky Mountain Serps is here. Sammy P is here. How you guys feeling?
Finally.
Awesome.
With decent internet in the building.
Uh-oh.
Everything too loud? I'm literally next to a machine. I was just going to stay on for a little bit. Is everything too loud?
That's not too bad. Not too bad. Hey, it's a fan calling show. Anybody that's new to the Talkin VAWLS Network and wondering why the audio is this or it's bad or look, it is what it is. Not everybody's a professional around here. Nobody actually is a professional. How you feeling, Nate? You fired up, buddy?
Man, I got a little bit more gray hair in my beard going on here, but I'm going to tell you, a 41-year-old man cried like a little baby and more than Nick Saban after that muff punt.
You know what's funny is somebody commented on one of my videos. It might have been the one this morning, and basically said a grown man cried over this game. I would never cry over football. You need to get a life. And I'm like, man, you need to get a life. You're in the wrong neck of town if you think that people around here don't cry over Tennessee football. What's up, Robert?
Hey, how's it going, Boogie?
How you guys doing? Are you guys still on the high? Smoky Mountain Serps, how you feeling? You still on that high all these days later?
Up here. I can't – words can't even put together how I still am. We were talking about crying and stuff. We sat there and – that kick went through, and finally I realized that, we did it. I sat there, looked at my wife, and she goes, "Are you crying?" I was like, "No." And she goes, "You didn't even cry at our wedding."
And you were like, "Exactly."
Y'all know that meme with Ric Flair where he talks about walking into work on Monday like? Yeah, my service writer, he is a big Alabama fan. And I walked in today with my phone blasting Dixieland Delight just all day long to him.
I work at a prison as a corrections officer, and Monday I walked into work, and I went into several of the pods where I know some of the inmates are huge Alabama fans. They give me huge crap. And I just opened that pod door, walked in, and I was like, "How about them Vols, baby?"
Look, we've only got room for 10 people on the fan call-in show. Coach Jay, Matt, I see you guys in the back. What we'll do, we'll go about till 15, 20 minutes or so, and then we'll rotate 2 guys out. We'll get you guys on. We'll get as many guys on as we can, and gals. Everybody's welcome. The plan is to go an hour tonight, and I know I say that every week, but that's the plan. We're going to try to go an hour and see what happens here. See what happens here. What do you guys think? And I made the video, and so many people it felt like they couldn't see the forest for the trees. And I said Tennessee was disrespected in the polls for being ranked 3rd. And here's what I'm saying. Am I saying that Tennessee's better than Ohio State? Absolutely not. Am I saying that they're better than Georgia? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you look at the body of work for 2022, Tennessee has done more than every other team. And Gabriel, I'm going to put you on the spot because you said you disagreed with me. Now, I want you to lay out the body of work for the first half of 2022. And if you dare say last year, if you say last season, if you say national championship, if you say talent, if you say anything other than a resume, I'm going to discredit you immediately. So please explain to me why. In all seriousness, I want to hear what you have to say, and then we'll kind of go around and everybody kind of chime in on this.
Well, more so than disagreeing that Tennessee shouldn't be higher, it was more so than I don't think it's disrespect, because that's how the media generally is, right? That's how they've been with Tennessee. Like, all right, you want to be higher, you got to prove it. You know, I wasn't surprised that they were. I didn't feel like it was disrespect that the media ranked them at number 3, because let's be honest, it's been a long time since Tennessee's been number 3. You know, they'd hear about it a lot. So I don't know. It didn't surprise me. Resume wise, I 100% agree that Tennessee should be ranked number 1. I do. I agree with you on that front. I just didn't feel like it was. I didn't feel like it was disrespect. I said this though. I didn't feel like it was disrespect from any of the media members, other than that one Notre Dame guy that ranked Tennessee at number 6 and Alabama at number 3. And keep in mind, these aren't power ratings. Like, they're not asked to like power rate them. They are asked to rank the teams. And this Notre Dame writer literally just kept the top 6 how it was the week before. So he clearly needs to, somebody else needs to be chosen for that. But that was disrespect. That was disrespect right there to say, you know what? I don't care about what just happened so much that I'm not even going to move Tennessee up. In fact, Bama's still going to be in front of them just because I hate Tennessee that much. So that was disrespect. The number 3 thing, I didn't feel like it as much.
Let me say this to the people in the chat that are saying that the studio's full. Yeah, you can only have 10 people on the screen and 12 people total in the studio. So Coach Jay and Matt have the next 2 seats locked down. What we'll do is we'll drop 3, 4, 5 people off here at the 20-minute mark, and we'll let some more people flood in. We'll get as many people on here as we can. I also want to say a lot of people are saying, Boogie, be happy with number 3. If anybody in this chat or on this planet doesn't think I'm happy being ranked number 3, you completely missed the point of the video. I'm extremely happy. But, you know, what Gabe said, disrespect. Well, I mean, if I put out a video that said Tennessee slightly lower than I feel they should, nobody's clicking on that. But if you put disrespect, it gets 10,000 views and gains 150 subscribers, and we're rocking and rolling, and we got people fighting to get into the green room. So understand what we're trying to do around here. Dustin, what's up, buddy? Thanks for jumping on here, hanging out. As always, what do you think about Tennessee? The big win over Alabama, ranked number 3, just 6 games into year 2, man.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest headline is we were bottom feeders, not only for the last decade or so, you know, so many disappointing games, but just how far this program has come in just, 17, 18 months. I think people tend to forget that. Maybe not as Vol fans, but just I think that's just as big a story as the season we're having because of the turnaround and how many players we lost. So it's just so great to be on the other side. I think 2 or 3 times this year, there's, you know, the Florida game, the Pitt game, and even the Alabama game. There's still plenty of opportunities where we could have folded, and to have overcome those hurdles like we have these last 3 or 4 games is huge. Super excited. A lot of people are, you know, downplaying it that are not Vol fans, but I keep saying to them, it's like, hey, it wasn't just the fact that we beat Alabama and we're ranked and all that stuff. It's the North Carolina loss. It's the LSU debacle. It's the, you know, Georgia games. It's the losing to Florida by 1 point for 2 years in a row. I mean, just so the list goes on and on and on. It's a culmination of all those things is why we stormed the field. You know what I mean? And so I just think, you know, I screamed for 30 minutes after that. I was just I was like, I think I posted on the post-game show. I was like, I just wanted to text everybody, my dead grandparents, like, you know, you just want to like spread the word, like, who can I call right now to like be elated with? So I couldn't be more pleased, man. It's just, and as far as the rankings go, I'll say this real quick. Like, I'm not used to that in general. So I'm always a little pessimistic. Like I could care less about the rankings as long as we are doing what we're supposed to do to win those next games, especially now. Georgia obviously is the biggest hurdle we have, but I just don't want to drop the ball on somebody that we shouldn't. That's my biggest worry because we've had that happen so many times in the past too. But yeah, it is interesting, getting back to your original point, it is interesting that in all the years I've heard people talk about playoff teams, it's always resume, and then now all of a sudden that doesn't seem to be as high on the list.
Dobber, you got something on the screen there. Show us, tell us what you got pulled up there, buddy.
So this is the FPI for the current top 10, and Gabe, here you go. Here's your point. Nobody in the top 10 other than Alabama and Tennessee and maybe Oregon have played anybody.
Yep.
And
Is what I heard true that Ohio State, is it true that the only team they played with a record above 500 is Toledo? Is that accurate?
Yep.
There is no way you deserve to be ranked ahead of Tennessee,
Or
who has
CJ
4
Stroud.
wins.
Or CJ Stroud deserves to be ranked above Hendon Hooker in the Heisman campaign race.
Somebody commented on my video this morning and said Hendon Hooker has to play better against teams like Akron and Ball State and put up bigger numbers to be considered. And I'm like, what?
First half.
What? Are you kidding me? Let me get Coach Jay on here because Sammy P got dropped off, so we can add one more. Matt, sit tight. We'll get you on here here in just a few minutes. We got D-Car also waiting to jump on, so sit tight, buddy. We'll get you on. Let me run through some super chats and members real quick. Ashby Wilson becomes a member of the channel. We appreciate that. Also drops a $2 super chat. Says, your boy's a member now. We appreciate that. Thank you for joining the channel. I say it all the time. There are strength in numbers. We got 17,000 subscribers now. We are like 180 away from 17,000. If everybody joins the channel for $1, guess what? I'm going to maybe buy a yacht or something. I don't know. I'll figure out a way to spend 17 grand every single month. Wade Rouse for 5. Guys just got back from Mobile, Alabama, watching a softball game. Never guess who I saw. It was Hyatt. He is still running all over Bama. How about wait, let me do this while Wade's dropping a super chat. He said he was going to try to jump on the show. I don't know if he'll be able to make it on or not, but did you guys see what I tweeted out and posted in the Facebook group? Has anybody not seen this? Let me get it pulled up here. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared for Wade dropping in the chat here, but Wade's the guy that said, Boogie, if Tennessee beats Alabama, I will get a Talkin VAWLS tattoo. And everybody laughed and thought it was a joke, but take a look at this. Boom.
It is.
Wade now has the Talkin VAWLS Network tattooed on his body. And it looks good, man. Like some people, if you get orange tattooed on your skin, sometimes it doesn't look good. Man, that looks clean. That looks good. I sent that to my brother. He does all of our logo designs and all of the graphics and stuff. And I sent that to him, and I said, did you ever think that when you designed this logo that it would be tattooed on another person's body? And he just laughed. He's like, holy cow, that's amazing. Wayne for $20, thank you for the super chat. It'll all work itself out on the field. And that's what I said in the video that everybody said I was so hostile about. Tennessee, they're in control of their own destiny. Just go win, baby. They got to keep working, get better each week, and not ever look ahead. 1-0 every week. Go Vols. You sound like Coach Heupel, Wayne. But thank you for the tip. We appreciate it. Jody Wooten for 5. As long as we are still undefeated when the playoff rankings come out, we will be number 1. Let me find some. You don't think so? I think so because to defend the AP poll, it is a bunch of where were they last year? That's what they look at.
Here's
more.
what I think.
Let me tell you why. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Nate. Go ahead, Nate.
Okay, yeah, you go, Nate.
So I have a working theory on this, and for my conspiracy theorists out there, follow along. So all year long, Alabama's been ranked number 1, correct? Right or wrong?
Most of it, yeah.
Yeah, most of them. Okay. So they've had close games throughout the year, pretty much coming down to the wire on a lot of different scenarios. The week that they get moved from 1st to 3rd, they have a backup quarterback in and playing A&M, which is always a close game on top of that. Correct? Okay, keep going. So we go down to LSU and we do what nobody saw coming. We absolutely steamroll them guys. It's very there's a lot of things that are going on there that you see Tennessee steamrolling LSU, beating Florida. At this point, we beat 3 ranked teams, and now the media and all the talking heads are talking about Tennessee is going to upset Alabama. What do these people hate more than anything? It is Tennessee being on top. We as fans, as Tennessee fans, we are relishing in this, okay? So now you take what is been known as one of the greatest teams in college football for the last, 15 years since Saban's been around. They come in here, we whip them. If they would have had Alabama still at number 1, then that would have made them put us at least 2 or 1. Then you go back and you look at the strength of schedules that are going on. Alabama is the only team that has a stronger strength of schedule than us in the top 10 right now. So you tell me we didn't get disrespected. You tell me why Alabama went from first, third place with Ohio State over, and they have played nobody that has an over 500 record, like you said, except for Toledo.
Let me throw this on top of everything you just said to piggyback on what you're saying. What happens if Tennessee goes and dominates UT Martin this Saturday, as we expect? Then they play Kentucky. They whip Kentucky, right? Then they go to Georgia. And let's say they lose a shootout to Georgia. Let's say they lose by 3 to Georgia. You can bet every penny in your bank account that Alabama will jump right back ahead of Tennessee in the rankings, even though they would both have 1 loss and Tennessee would have the head-to-head win. But to defend what Nate's saying there, Coach Jay, what do you think about all that we're unpacking right now?
It's a lot. And, we can argue about rankings all day. I kind of tend to agree we got a little bit disrespected. But we control our own destiny. And it's a beautiful thing, guys. That's just the bottom line. And you know what? I think we can beat Georgia. I really do. I really do believe that in Athens. It's a job. Don't get me wrong. It's a big job, but I think we can do it. We got momentum. And, man, Coach is calling some great games right now, man. He's giving it to them in every way possible.
You got a pretty good blueprint from Missouri as well.
Mm-hmm.
They showed how to keep that offense from Georgia in check.
How good is it?
Yeah, I've been
To
saying.
piggyback on that, if we lost to Georgia, I wouldn't be shocked to see us drop to 10 or maybe out of the top 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and going back to our possibility of beating Georgia, like I've said it all week, that I firmly believe that Georgia's defense is probably better than Alabama's as a whole, but I don't know that Georgia's offense is better than Alabama's with their quarterback and run. So, if we can keep the momentum going on offense and get some guys healthy on the secondary and play a little bit more solid, I know everybody kind of forgets about Stetson Bennett. I think he is a solid quarterback and he's surprisingly good on his feet too. Mm-hmm. But again, if we can just get some guys healthy again and kind of tighten up some things and get, go from a D secondary to a C plus, I think we have just as good a shot as we did against Alabama, if not better.
You know what takes care of all this? Simple thing is the late Al Davis said, "Just win, baby, just win."
Right. Well, and the thing of it is too is that like I was talking to some people at work about it, about Georgia stuff. Like you said, they have a good defense, but the real question should be is can you stop our offense? And that should be the biggest question of them all, because we have our secondary, it is what it is, but like I said, just send the house. At this point, you have to. So we need to
there's too many offensive weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean.
Sorry, real quick. I'll say this, then I'll hush. But and something that some of the media or local media and stuff like that chimed on it. But the real MVPs, aside from the obvious, is this offensive line. I mean, they've done such a great job these last few games.
Yeah, no, I wanted to say that too. Out of the billions of positive things that came out of Saturday, the top of my list is that offensive line is underrated. That they are beasts and monsters, and we will go as far as they can protect us, man. I think they can do it though. Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're top 5 easily.
They just need to have somebody puke every game, and we'll be good.
and remember this. Remember this. Georgia cannot stop our offense. Think about it. We just hung 52 points on Alabama. What's the most anybody scored on Alabama this year?
Nate, they've not broke 50 since 1907. 1907. When was the automobile invented?
Like in 03.
There's something else.
There you go.
There's something else that's being overlooked about this game. Okay, I've not seen anybody nationally talk about this, and I've barely seen UT talk, like UT's accounts or whatever, talk about this. I keep seeing people saying that Ohio State would just boat race Tennessee because Ohio State's offense is very similar numbers wise. Georgia's gonna light up that Tennessee secondary. I need y'all to realize that Tennessee secondary was 3/4 or 5 starters short at points in the game against the former Heisman winning quarterback and like number 1 quarterback in the SEC by a lot of people's accounts, against literally a walk-on at the end.
Yep.
No, I don't know why there are a lot of people that are not talking about that side of it, because when our secondary is healthy, it's still not that great. But the fact that we were able to bend and not break 6 deep in our secondary is ridiculous, because that has to show something about the fortitude of this team, that Alabama were some people's favorites to win the national championship. There's somebody that's commented recently that is just evidently really likes Joel Klatt. And I said something about Joel Klatt having a similar show to Josh Pate and the way that it was formatted. But I went and watched Joel Klatt because I like Joel Klatt, okay. But he's been a Tennessee hater all year. He said Tennessee ain't going to beat Florida. Then he said Tennessee ain't going to beat LSU. Well, he went on after the Alabama game and said that Tennessee isn't a championship team. And as I commented, I was like, but Joel, how can you say they're not a national championship contender when they just beat Alabama? How can you say that? How can you say that Tennessee is not a national championship team because of their defense, is what he said. Because of their defense. Well, we just scored more points than Alabama. That's what matters at the end of the day. I don't care if Ohio State puts 150 points on us. If we have 151 points, we still win, period.
Yeah.
And as well as, just the fact that we were playing with such a depleted defense, especially in the secondary, which is already our weakness. I mean, that is disrespect right there. Is saying I watched with my own eyes Tennessee beat Alabama, and I still don't believe they're a championship team just because of their defense allows a lot of yards.
And because like I've said multiple times, they're going to keep moving the goalposts, Gabriel. That's what they're going to do. Yeah. Tennessee wins. Oh, well, your defense isn't good enough. It's just lay out the season, right? You can't go on the road and beat Pitt. Like, even our own fan base was scared of that Pitt game. You guys, we're not going to go beat Pitt. And then it's like, okay, we beat Pitt. Well, you're not going to beat Florida. Yeah, Florida's got your number. You know, history says Florida's going to – okay, well, they beat Florida. Then you move on. Well, that LSU defense, there's no way you're going to score on them. Okay, cool, we boat raced them. And then let's move on to Alabama. You guys are never going to beat Alabama. 15 years, Nick Saban, you guys are screwed. Beat Alabama. Well, your defense sucks.
Oh, and Bryce Young's playing now too, so you're definitely losing.
Let's just keep moving the goalposts and keep on changing what the expectations are. It's fine. Just keep winning, baby, and keep pissing off all these. There is a reason, guys. There is a reason. Guess what? If Tennessee was 3-3, there wouldn't be Ohio State fans, Georgia fans, all these people in the chat that are so irate. They would not be here if Tennessee was 3-3. We're almost 30 minutes in. I gotta rotate some people off. Trucker Dougie, thanks for coming on, buddy. If you don't care to bounce, Nate, if you don't care to bounce, Robert and Smoky Mountain Syrups, thank you guys for coming on. I want to rotate as many guys as I can on. Dustin, Coach Jay, you guys stick around, and let me catch up on Super Chats, and then we'll get some more guys added real quick. Wallace Media becomes a member of the channel. Thank you for that support. We appreciate it. Joshua Lyford for 5. Funny to see how we are now viewed in the age of social media. 90s didn't have Twitter and YouTube. Everyone is using our brand for clickbait and views. Bingo. That is a huge, huge thing. And that's why even seeing the national media make Tennessee kind of that everybody's getting, a lot of people are getting behind Tennessee because they know that is going to get views and clicks. Let me get Matt and D-Car on here. I'm going to continue to go through these Super Chats. Drew Shorter for 5. Got to jump off early tonight, but go Vols. Let's win a natty. Here's to the winners. Try and stop us. Thank you, Drew. We appreciate that. Jody Wooten for 5. Thank you for the Super Chat. The committee puts more weight on resume than anything. I guarantee you we'll be number 1 when the college football playoff ranking comes out. I agree with that. I think the AP poll puts less on resume and more on last year and paper and all that stuff, whereas the college football playoff puts more on resume. I agree with you there, Jody. Luis Ortiz says 5'8", 168. Oh, no, wrong show. Go Big Orange. What did I miss? Thank you for the Super Chat. We got 411 people watching live right now. Guys, do me a favor. smash that thumbs up and hit share. If you don't care, quickly hit share and it'll pop up Twitter, it'll pop up Facebook, Instagram. You pick. You just click a button, hit OK, boom, the link's out there. The more people that come in here, the better. We keep growing this chat. I'll say this: we get this chat over 600 people, we won't shut it down in an hour. We'll just keep going. You guys grow this chat, and we will keep this show rolling all night. I told Dauber, Xavier, and Gabriel I wasn't going to do that, but here we are doing it once again. Matt, what's going on, buddy? How you feeling? How you feeling tonight?
Oh, Boogie, I can't even tell you. I have no voice still. And in the celebration, yes, I cried. Yes, I ran. Yes, I jumped. Yes, I high-kneed my knee into the table. I jumped up. I missed my couch, and I broke my damn tailbone. But guess what?
I saw that on Twitter. Is that legit? I saw you post that on Twitter.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I went to the doctor today, got the X-ray, broken tailbone, missed the couch.
Did you guys see where the guy tore his ACL jumping around?
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah,
I was about to say
that.
it's up there with the guy that tore his ACL.
Us old guys, man. Us old guys, we gotta watch it. We gotta watch it.
No doubt.
Yeah, that was good.
But no, it was. I think going on the points we're at, guys, I 100% agree with you on the disrespect on the rankings because of the resume, and you're right about the college football playoff. The resume is going to speak its factor, and by that time, too, you're playing a top 15, 18 team in Kentucky as well. But the one thing that we talked about, the defensive back situation, Gabriel, and I agree with you 100%, those guys fought their butts off and held Bryce Young as much as they possibly could. But the same thing, too, we ran the football and set up every one of those Jalen Hyatt touchdowns. But the biggest credit that I think we didn't give a lot to, and I think that even our Tennessee writers have said that, national media has not said it at all, we ran for 185 yards on the ground against Bama, and they ran for 114. We kept Gibbs in check when he ran the football. They got him out in space a couple times and he burned us, but kept him in check. That's what's allowing this team to continue to win football games is because they can neutralize the run. And against Georgia and a team like Georgia and a team like Kentucky, they predicate those offenses on running the football.
Kentucky ain't scoring 10 points on Tennessee. I'm calling it right now.
Wait, whoa. What did you just say?
I said, me?
Yes, you.
I said Kentucky ain't scoring 10 points on Tennessee.
They're
10 points?
They are going to throw the ball 50 times.
But
yes, Will Levis is going to throw at least 50 times. I agree with Dauber.
Will Levis has shown time and time again he can't put the team on his back. He's not as good as people say. Maybe he'll be okay in the NFL when he has to be an emotionless robot that just plays games. He cannot put the team on his back.
Yeah, call me crazy, but I got BVS big time, battered Vol syndrome. So like when I hear Mark, is it how do you say it? Mark, what's the last name? Levi's.
Will
Levis.
Will Levis.
Levis. Okay, so Levis. I got BVS, so I hear that he's gonna go off, man. It's just that's Tennessee football. We're always gonna get the best from every team we play, especially in a year like this. Everybody wants to give us crap for saying we're all saying Tennessee's back. We're back. It's back like the 90s, and everybody wants to put us in our place and just shut us up. So every one of these teams we play is going to give us the absolute game of their century. I mean, that's just Tennessee football, man. But I still like our chances. But hey, I mean, that guy's going to come out and play, man. Anthony
Richardson is half the quarterback that Levis is throwing the ball.
Well, Anthony Richardson played the game of his life.
He also has more talent around him too, though.
He threw for 50% completions and 400 and some yards.
Yeah, but what's 8-yard drops?
I was talking about points. Will Levis can throw for 700 yards. That doesn't mean he's getting in the end zone.
I feel like Dauber and Gabriel should have a bet over whether or not Kentucky scores 10 or more. And maybe I'll get in on a side bet on Dauber's side of that too.
Did you watch the game last year, Gabriel?
I think that's free money. I think that's free money for Dauber.
Watch a Kentucky game last year?
Yeah.
All I'm
I
saying
bought tickets to this Kentucky game this year just based off the game last year.
I'm just saying. People thought that LSU was going to score on this defense.
Yeah,
they did.
A lot of people feel that the Kentucky game has turned into a trap game for us
Yeah.
all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So, I think it's at home and it's night. We'll be fine.
Looking ahead to
Yep.
Georgia. Still
Dude,
riding that
Kentucky,
Alabama.
Kentucky brings their best, like D. Carr just said. Every year, Kentucky brings their best.
Yeah.
We are
Peyton
Kentucky's
Manning?
daddy because we beat them all the time, but they bring their A game. It's their Super Bowl. They look at us the way we looked at Alabama for the last 15 years.
That's exactly what I was about to
the way-
say, man.
well, and
Kentucky
it-
looks at the Vols like, hey, listen, like that's my rival. And we just kind of look at them like, Kentucky? Like what? Kentucky? Like,
Right.
we're not, I mean, yeah, they're our rival, but like Kentucky looks at that Vols game like we got to win this game every year. We look at it like, yeah, we're going to beat Kentucky. Like, you know,
Well,
Kind of like how
That's-
Florida's
I mean,
probably looked at
Boogie's 100% right.
I was going to
Kentucky
say
looked at
that
us
I
just
think
like how we
Go
look
ahead- go
at
ahead, Ace.
Florida. Oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Dustin. I just want to say
No, go
real
ahead,
quick,
brother.
It's just Kentucky looks at us just like how we look at Florida. It's like that we have to beat Florida every year. And like I said, we've owned Kentucky for so long that they play our best. They play their best football every year. So yeah, that game is a sweat fest. It's always a sweat
Yeah.
fest.
And I think,
Well, I think you also got to
something that's going to
too.
go in our.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I said it's something that I think has gone in our favor and is shown true multiple times this year is the even kill nature of the coach and the even kill nature of our quarterback. So I don't expect us not to be prepared mentally for those games. It just comes down to kind of execution. And what we're talking about a minute ago, I think the two main bullet points I was going to point out is that, both Anthony Richardson and Bryce Young literally had to take over the game for themselves. They had the whole team on their shoulders. And so if we can keep those kind of players in check, I think we've got a good chance to run the table.
I think the one thing you'll see moving forward too, and we've seen it already this year, other than maybe Georgia, is that this defense is going to have to play 4 downs on a lot of different possessions, because every coach we play does not have the ability to fight with that offense. So they're going to have to use, go 4 on 4th down and make decisions. And we've seen that come to bite every single team so far. And I think it's going to continue to bite because our defensive line gets pressure. They get pressure when it matters. We've put, even on the last drive against Bama to cause the field goal, we got pressure on Bryce Young again to get him to incomplete, ultimately miss the field goal. And I think that's what you're going to see in this team is the front 7 for Tennessee is an unheralded member nationally. I think we all know that they win football games for us, or at least keep us in the football game by making enough plays. And
We
they're
may
gonna do
not
that
always get
against everybody.
We may not always get to the quarterback, but the fact that they're pressuring him regularly, I mean, somebody like Bryce Young and even Anthony Richardson can run around, and then that's when it gets scary. But just the fact that we're keeping that constant pressure and the play calling on the defensive side has been a little bit more aggressive. I think has proven helpful.
It's both sides.
And
of the ball, too, though.
in the Georgia game too, if we follow the Missouri pattern, it's let 5'9" Stetson Bennett throw over the hands. They knocked down more balls in that game against Missouri. Missouri did against Georgia. Not even getting the pressure.
They weren't
knocking
getting to him,
down
but they're
passes.
getting their hands up. Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
big
think
old
Tim
Mike
Banks.
Thomas and
I
those
think Tim
linebackers
Banks
will do that,
listens. Tim Banks listens to the Talkin VAWLS Network. I'm pretty sure because he changed his game plan after that Florida game, and it seems like they have gotten more and more aggressive and just kind of lived and died on bringing heat, hitting quarterbacks, and like Dustin just said, they only got Bryce Young down once the whole game, but dang, did they beat the crap out of him. They hit him so many times that I was like, how is this kid still in the game?
I kept waiting
we're
for him to not
questioning
get
whether
back up. Yeah.
Yeah, like we're questioning whether or not he's even going to play at one point, and they're beating him up. Let me get caught up on Super Chats real quick. We do have 421 people watching live. Guys, smash the thumbs up if you haven't. Share it out. Let's keep growing. Let's get this thing over 600. Let's get it over. Somebody sent me a DM earlier and said, Boogie, I was watching the VolQuest show. They only had 350 people. Let's see if we can beat them. Well, we've already beat them because that's what we do for the fans, by the fans. Would you guys rather go listen to somebody or come hang out and be the show? You guys are the show. Somebody just said, thank you guys for giving the fans a voice to come on and talk. Where else do you go? Can you imagine if Josh Pate just said, hey, you guys come on. You're my equal. Come on and talk with me and hang out.
That's awesome.
There's no other place like the Talkin VAWLS Network. I love this community that we've built. Let me hit these Super Chats real quick. Smoky Mountain Serps. All right, come on, StreamYard. Work with me. StreamYard. What are we doing? StreamYard is not happy. Smoky Mountain Serps for 10. There it goes. One thing I want to say, I was very proud of our secondary. Look at the talent difference, and eventually their guys were going to get open, but they held coverage till finally after 5 seconds. And I think it was Gabriel said earlier, or maybe it was Monday, or who knows, maybe it was Sunday or Saturday. It all blends together. There was a walk-on the field down the stretch. Like, you got to be proud of that secondary for getting stops when it counts. Thank you, Smoky Mountain Search, for the super chat. Luis Ortiz for 2. Unless Bryce Young portals to Georgia, Vols by easy. I'll take that. Ortiz. Seth Brooks for $20. That ain't cheap. $20 is not cheap. What happens if our only loss comes from Georgia? Then Georgia and Bama play in the SEC ship. Bama beats Georgia. Now UT, Georgia, Bama are all one loss, but Bama and Georgia are the only ones to make the ship. Do 3 SEC teams. That would break the internet and the college football world. I think they would leave Tennessee out because people would be so pissed if 3 SEC teams got into the college football
this
playoff.
Week plays a big difference in that because you got College Game Day going to Eugene with Oregon and UCLA. You've obviously got Michigan, Ohio State, 2 undefeated teams going to play again as well. I think the team that nobody's talking about, and we all hate him, although we cheered him on Saturday, is Ole Miss. The Bama-Ole Miss football game is going to be a very, very interesting football game because
I'm pulling for Lane Kiffin.
I'm pulling for Lane.
Stop the pass.
Oh, yeah.
We saw that. And Ole Miss has got the athletes to do the same thing Tennessee did to them. I'm not sure they have the quarterback with Art compared to Hooker by any means.
That was
Ole Miss is going to have to be able to run.
That was going to be my bold prediction, and I've said a couple of people at work, told a couple of people at work this. I was like, bold prediction, Tennessee, Ole Miss, SEC championship for the mustard bottle reunion.
Sign me up. And that's the T-shirt. That's the T-shirt. Thank you, Dustin, for putting more money in. Hey, wait, hold on a second. Speaking of T-shirts, I just noticed that your Talkin VAWLS shirt is signed.
Yes,
like
sir.
who all signed that?
So there was a
Rick Barnes.
What is it
Kelly
called?
Harper.
Yeah. Kelly Harper, Rick Barnes, Denny White, and Josh Heupel is the.
Wow,
Oh my God!
Much more fancy than everybody else.
I broke this out of the frame to wear tonight. I was so pumped. So.
Oh my gosh!
It was.
I love
it.
Was that at the Bama? Where'd you get that signed? Where'd you get it signed?
They did an orange caravan thing over the summer in Nashville here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I
want to mention a scenario that not a lot of people are mentioning. Everyone's like, oh, well, what if Tennessee loses to Georgia and then Georgia loses in the SEC championship game? Personally, I think Tennessee has a better chance of getting in the playoff if Tennessee loses to Georgia and then Georgia beats Alabama in the SEC championship. Then because if it comes to Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee, like you said, I think they would either replace Georgia with Tennessee, but in that case, Georgia would probably deserve to be in the playoff more than Alabama. But they're not gonna take their darlings out of Alabama out of the playoff.
Would you guys rather go to the SEC championship or miss the SEC championship and make it to the playoff?
I think as long as you're competitive in the SEC championship, I think it doesn't really. I think you're almost a lock in unless there's another really strong case for whatever team isn't in there. Knox for Predator Catcher, what do you think? You haven't said anything since you gotten in here, and Michael too.
Yeah, man. Same thing, I think.
Go ahead, Knox for Predator Catcher. Then we'll kick it to Michael.
Yep.
I think the same thing, man. I think getting to the SEC championship game is going to be the best bet. I think win or lose that game, we're getting in the playoffs.
I think so.
I think so too.
I think if we beat Georgia, then we could. Yeah, we're going to the playoffs. If we beat Georgia and win out, there ain't no way.
So even if you would rather let me put it this way. Well, I guess you go to Atlanta and lose. Let's say this, Michael. You go to Atlanta, you beat Georgia, you go to Atlanta and lose, and you get a pick. You're not going to go to the college football playoff. If in that situation, what would you rather do? A shot at an SEC championship? And if you lose, you're not going, or back your way into a college football playoff. I want a dang SEC championship. That's what I want. I want to go to Atlanta. What do you think, Michael?
We were talking about how long it's been and all. I remember, I think it was in 2006 when we played in the championship game last SEC championship game. I was calling my dad and giving him score updates when he was at a church event. And it's like, I just, remembering those memories and whatnot is just, but yeah, I would love to see us win the SEC championship. That'd be crazy.
Let me hit a few more super chats real quick, then we'll come back. Ashby Wilson for 5. Thank you for super chat. Gabe is right. Levis can't carry the team on his back because he's named after a pants brand. But would you bet, Ashby Wilson, would you bet $100 that Kentucky and Levis won't score 10 points? Luis Ortiz for 2, unless Bryce Young portals to Georgia. I already hit that one, didn't I? Yep. Not worried. I think he said that again. Thank you for another super chat. I swear I think that came through twice. John London for 5. Kentucky also gives up sacks, 26 so far this year. Bring the freaking Gabe. Hey, I'm gonna set him up for you. Get that dollar amount ready. Get it ready, and you'll burn him.
Levis might not finish that game. We might be on their most talented.
He finished
we
the
might
game
be on
when
their.
his finger was going this way.
We might.
I want 10% of your bet, Dauber.
We might be on their best passing wide receiver by the end of that game.
Let me continue to go through super chats. David for 10. Thank you for super chat. Kentucky will score more than 10 points on us. It's going to be a shootout. I agree with that. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. Angry Titan for 5. This is for – wait a second. What are we doing here? This is for the X Factor for winning the quiet game. Get in there, Xavier. Hey, look, we talk about this all the time. The regular host of the show behind the scenes, it's like we got to let other people open up and talk, but you also got to fight your way in. If you want to say something on these fan call-in shows, and you guys are learning, this may have been my favorite fan call-in show yet. Everybody's talking and diving in. I always love having D-Card, Dustin, Matt. Coach Jay's always great. You guys, we got to get Knoxville Predator Catcher and Michael to learn how to fight their way in there and tell somebody to shut up. You guys will get there. Yeah, just find your way in there. Get in there. Let me say this, though.
We were talking about, or y'all were talking about the secondary against the Bama game, and I hadn't seen them play that close to the wide receiver on the defensive line all season. Like they weren't hitting them off the line. They were running with them, but it was unbelievable. It was like, why hadn't we seen that previously?
Yeah, I think it was scheme.
Yeah, they play press man a lot.
But for Gabe and all these other young bucks out there,
I've created a rivalry.
I'm on your side, Dauber, on this.
Let me just go back in time a little bit and tell you about a wide receiver playing quarterback for Kentucky in a Tennessee game.
Oh man!
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Now I'm on Gabe's side.
Listen, Will Levis, he had a lot of preseason hype for a reason. He is a passing quarterback who can throw the ball around. We have a questionable and suspect secondary. That is our weakness, and that is our Achilles heel. We've had a quarterback who struggled for didn't have a throwing pass for a touchdown, and then came out and lit us up. I think Levis is going to throw the ball around unless our secondary improves by a magnitude of 10 or more in the next 2 weeks. I think he's going to throw the ball around. I don't think Kentucky wins that game, but they're scoring more than 10 points. That's for sure.
Are we wearing the black jerseys in that game?
They haven't said yet, but I think
it's a night game.
It's not confirmed. But we will be wearing. You can go ahead and bet that we are going to be wearing dark mode uniforms with black helmets next week against Kentucky.
Did you guys see Did you guys mention the picture of Chase McGrath? I just had to turn my ceiling fan on. I
actually didn't see. I didn't see the Chase McGrath picture first. I saw another picture of a kid that's like way deep in the roster wearing one at practice.
Okay. Yeah, there was a picture of it like of a black helmet in a dark hallway, and then Chase McGrath posted a picture with somebody, and he had the helmet kind of behind him, but you could see plain as day that it was a black helmet. So that's 100% coming.
Yeah, there was also I'm sure everybody saw it. A photo from Snapchat. There's a photo from Snapchat where it was the black helmet and the orange helmet, which the orange helmet I think from what I understand is probably going to be an away jersey thing. So I'm expecting to see that orange helmet at the Georgia game. White tops with an orange helmet.
And orange pants, maybe orange breeches.
Yeah, I
good.
don't
That
know.
looked good.
I hadn't heard that, but the orange helmet, I know they had some issues with it, like preseason, or I guess summer or whatever it was. But the orange didn't quite match perfectly. So
Yeah, I thought so too.
I work with the dad of one of the starting players, and so he was kind of giving me a little inside knowledge on that, and so. I've been excited, for a couple months just to see that orange helmet come out, and I saw it, kind of got leaked on that Snapchat.
Right. It looked
a couple
pretty good.
weeks ago, but
Let me rotate real quick. We got the link out there for Talk Balls Gold, so you guys can come on too. Dustin, Coach Jay, Matt, if you guys don't care to bounce, Knoxville Predator catcher Michael, stick around. We'll continue to rotate guys around. I want to get as many people on as we can. We got a couple of people in the green room. Always a great time having you guys on. While you guys bounce, I'm going to run through some super chats real quick.
David, on the list? Sorry, my lead.
I was going to make
no,
one quick
stick around,
point and get
D-Car.
out of
Stick
here.
around. Stick around.
I was
Go ahead,
I
Dustin.
was gonna pose a question, then hop out. So if somebody wants my spot, I can do that. But go ahead.
Will you wait? Will you wait? Go ahead, Dustin. D-Car, stick around, and let me hit these.
I'll be quick. And going back to your point, Boogie, I agree with you, man. I won an SEC championship above all, and I'll throw this back to Dauber real quick. Similarly, in basketball, I was getting ready to say that. I was pretty darn satisfied once we got that SEC hump off our back. Obviously, the NCAA tournament was disappointing. But I was okay. So I'm hoping the same kind of mentality in football. So appreciate you guys. Always a pleasure, man. Appreciate letting me get on. Oh, also, shout out to the sweatshirt, Boogie. I'm a newly found 40-year-old mark in wrestling, so we'll have to chat wrestling.
Yeah, hey, we can sit here and talk that all night on the Fan Calling Show. People get mad at me for it. Later, buddy. Thanks for coming on.
Man.
Hold tight, D-Car. Let me run through these super
Yeah,
chats, and then I'll let you hit that question, then you can bounce. David B. for 5. We are beating Georgia. We are winning the SEC championship. We are winning the Natty. I'll take it. I'll take it. I will not complain about that at all. Nathan Harrell for $19.98. That's convenient. That is convenient. We appreciate that, Nathan. Enough of this 10 points crap. The over-under for Kentucky points scored is hereby set by me at 20.5. I'm with Gabe. I'm going under. I think that Gabe and Dauber should bet $19.98. Thank you for the super chat, Nathan. We appreciate it. Ashby Wilson for 2. What you think of dark mode unis? We got new helmets. That's weird.
I think they're going to be sick.
We just talked about it. We just talked about it. I love it too. I love it. I want a matte black helmet, and I say that because I got this App State helmet. I showed it off before, but I walked in and I loved it, and I'm like, dude, it's matte black. I've got to buy it. I love matte black helmets. I think they look so clean. Zachary Cagle for 5. I'll take my chances all day long going to Atlanta, win or lose, to get into the playoffs. I agree with that. David Zierline for $20. That ain't cheap. I do have to say, if our offensive line plays the way it did against Alabama, we will be doing great. How about the clips, Dauber? And keep this short because we're going to let D-Car ask his question and bounce. But how about the clips of Darnell Wright blocking Will Anderson? Like all the stuff that's coming out. Domination.
Owned him. I think Anderson had one tackle, half a tackle for loss, something like that. Coming in as probably the best defensive player in the country and pretty much a non-factor. Wright just worked him all night long, and that's coming out of the LSU game. This team started running the ball, and to be in a game against a team like Alabama, you're going to have to run the ball. And they did, and that's a good point. You keep doing that, I think the rest of these games work themselves out.
All right, D-Car. Well, let me add. Let's see who we got back here. We got Joel. Joel's been waiting to jump on. Gary's waiting to jump on. What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. D-Car, drop your question, and then we'll let you drop off, and we'll kind of go around the room and talk about it.
Yeah, man. So, the thing that I've heard all week, and it's Tuesday night. It's now 10 o'clock on a Tuesday night, right? So, we've all been, I'm finally coming down from that Alabama victory. Like it took me, 3 days?
That makes one of us.
Yeah. So everybody's kind of been hanging on that. Nobody's really talking about UT Martin. I don't think anybody thinks we're going to sleep against UT Martin. Even if we did sleep, I don't think they have the talent to put up a game against us. but everybody's kind of talking, still hanging on that Bama game, and we're looking forward to that Kentucky game and the Georgia game. I'm a little curious about what everybody's thoughts are about those final 3 games of the season. We got, who is it? Missouri, then South Carolina on the road, and then Vandy on the road. Vandy, I'm not too worried about. South Carolina on the road. I mean, everybody wants to talk crap about Beamer ball, but hey, it's college football is college football, right? Like Missouri played a game against Georgia. Missouri took Georgia to the final minutes. And I don't think that's because Missouri had the talent to beat Georgia. I think it's because Georgia had an off day and a bad game. And that's just the nature of sports. It can happen to any team at any time. And I'm just curious to hear what everybody's thoughts are on those final 3 games. If anybody has any worries about any of those, it feels to me like, hey, we beat Bama, and now we're going to the SEC championship, and you're going to the national championship. And trust me, I want as bad as anybody to hit those same marks. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. I mean, you still gotta take care of business. You know what I mean? You gotta win, not only beat Georgia, but you gotta finish the schedule. It's not over just because you beat Georgia. You're not entitled to anything. You got to finish the schedule. You know what I mean? So I want to hear what anybody has to say about that.
Wholeheartedly agree. I think South Carolina's a trap game.
I'm gonna hop off. Hey, Boogie, Dauber, everybody, appreciate you guys having me on. Y'all have a good night. Go Vols.
Later, buddy. Always a pleasure to have you on.
Great seeing you, man.
All right, I'm gonna put the schedule up here. Go ahead, Joe. You give us your thoughts. I'm gonna throw the schedule up on the screen.
I totally agree with D-Car. I think those are the South Carolina game's a trap game potentially, and I agree with look what Mizzou did, what they're capable of, and I think if we lose our focus, those are real potential pitfalls for us. Obviously, we're focused on Georgia. Personally, I'm not overly afraid of Georgia. We could lose to Georgia and win out and still take care of business. That's what I think about that.
Let me say this.
If we're going to lose the game, it's going to be Kentucky. Kentucky's going to be a really
I disagree with that. I think if
we win a shootout, I said that before Alabama. We win a shootout.
If we lose a game outside of Georgia, if we lose a game on the schedule, it's going to be South Carolina.
Really? Y'all think that? I think South Carolina's offensive line, aren't they? They're just not that good. They can't protect them.
I personally, I think we'll take care of business against Kentucky. I'm not worried about Kentucky. Kentucky is Kentucky. They are weak where we're strong. It's a bad matchup for them.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia, and we can sit there and we can talk about the shootout that happened last year. That's not the same Kentucky team. This isn't the same Tennessee team. This Tennessee team has progressed a lot more than that Kentucky team has.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say that this team can't have bad days, but the way this team prepares is more consistent and more steady, and they are more mentally founded than any football team I have ever seen. If you think that this football team is not going to go out there and hang 40 plus on UT Martin this Saturday, it's easy to expect because that's what college football teams do. They pull a big upset like this and then they suck or lose the week after. If you think, even just in the interviews today, but with other players, if you think that they are not right back to business like and just like it was at the beginning of last week and the week before that and the week before that, then I think that's the way this team prepares. I mean, they are so like it's almost an annoying level how much they are so locked in for the goal ahead. So that's why I don't even give us a chance even giving Kentucky a chance because this team is so locked in. I really, again, not saying they're not going to have a bad day. That is not my official prediction. But the way this team prepares, I think it is much harder than the average college football team.
Well, that was the key. That was the key when Joel said if this team doesn't show up prepared, and I talked about it in the post game 2.0 Monday morning stream when I went upstairs in a commercial and my wife's like, "You think they're going to lose, don't you?" And I said, "Yes." And like she was laughing, telling people about how I was just had no confidence, but the last thing I said when I walked out of that room was, the one thing that I have confidence in is Josh Heupel because he never doubts Xavier. He never he's got that confidence, and it bleeds into the players.
You took the words right out of my mouth. But to piggyback on what you're saying, Boog, yeah. So when you look at Kentucky and the rest of the schedule too, is that what Boog just said, man? That Josh Heupel, and we all seen it during that Alabama game when we seen that fumble, that scoop and score that Alabama had. Josh Heupel did not have batter ball syndrome in his nerves when that play happened. That man's composure was so calm that I don't even know if he even looked up at the scoreboard. I mean, he probably did, but then I don't think he looked at the scoreboard because he knew and he believed. He was like, hey, just go out there, make a play, and try to win this game. And that's what I love about Josh Heupel, because like I said, he is a competitor because he's been on that championship level when he was down in Oklahoma. So he knows these big time game moments, and he's not going to just, have batter ball syndrome like us and just break down. So, but yeah, the one guy that I'd really trust on this team other than Hendon Hooker in our offense is Josh Heupel. That man has proven that, and I've said it all the time in the previous videos, that he is a leader. He is a leader. He is our leader, and he is definitely our football coach.
Yeah, I mean, look at him like back in that Alabama game after the Alabama missed field goal. Previous coaches would have been jumping for joy with the rest of the team and been caught up in the moment. He just sat there. He did like a golf clap and then reset, got ready to go on offense.
All right, let me hit a couple super chats, and we got this can be a fun one. This can be a fun one. Just stay tuned. Let me hit these super chats real quick. Travis Melvin for $20. That ain't cheap. Travis drops $20 just to say GBO. Thank you, Travis. We appreciate that, buddy. Larry Dalton for 10. This team is like a well-oiled machine. Go Big Orange. And I could sit here and talk for 30 minutes about Josh Heupel and why he has this team clicking on all cylinders. But thank you for the super chat. John London for 5. You can tell me how much Georgia's worried with how many Facebook sites are going private to prevent ticket sales to Vol fans. Yeah, they're talking about a blackout for Tennessee's funeral. That's probably a bad idea. I don't think I would put that out there. If you want to go blackout all that stuff, that's fine. Let's get Wade on here. Wade's the man of the hour. Wade DM'd me, and he said, Boogie, it's done. And I was like, is this really happening? Wade, you said you hoped your internet was good. Show them the goods, man. Show them what you got done yesterday. I hope the internet works. Come on.
There
Oh
it
my
is.
gosh. It looks so clean. I love it, man. I love it.
Hey, brother, round of applause, man.
I love it. Yes, round of applause. Round of applause for Wade. Absolutely love it, man. Talk us through this. Talk us through this. You're going to be. Let me go ahead and get. I'll get Robert and Caleb on here. They can hang out while we go through this too. Walk us through this, man. Why us? Why Talkin Balls? Why are you here? And what? I get it. You said, hey, if they beat Alabama, what? And Brad, a guy that he's in the chat all the time. He's not in the chat tonight. He was like, hey, did everybody that told you they were going to drop super chats or do this or do that, did they come through? And I said, Brad, people say that to me on a daily basis, and I just ignore it. And you said you were going to get the tat, and then you immediately followed up. But again, I get it. If we beat Alabama, pipe dream, right? But why Talkin Vols, and why get that tattooed on you? What does this channel mean to you?
Well, first and foremost, I'm just a man of my word, and if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. So, I mean, I said I'll do it, and I meant what I said, so I went and got it done.
Love it.
And it's a nice tattoo. I like it. I like the design. So, I mean, I'm not mad about it or anything like that. My wife it was actually pretty funny because I told her I was going to do it, and then she was like, "Are you for real?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, if we beat them, I'm for real." So I'm in a house full of Bama fans watching the game. We win. I walk outside.
Oh, it's even better.
My cigar, and she walks up behind me, and she was like, "So when you getting your new tattoo?" And I was like, I guess Monday." So, I went and got it done first thing. Called the tattoo shop. And they were like, "Hey, we got an opening." I was on the way.
That's my brother in the chat right there. He does all.
Nice,
he does all the graphics, does all the logos, does all the T-shirt designs, does everything. He says you must just be a big fan of his work.
Hey, I mean, it's a great design. I love the state. I mean, I like the way it's laid out and everything. I was really impressed with the color sticking the way it did.
Yeah, the color looks good because
that's my first
I've seen
tattoo.
The girl that does she's done a lot of Dauber's tattoos. She's done my entire sleeve, and she's doing a Tennessee sleeve for a guy. And like he came in while I was in the chair getting tattooed, and he was like showing me all this stuff. Some people orange looks good. Some people, man, it just doesn't pop. I think it looks clean. When did you find this channel? Like when did you find us? Like what brought you to the table?
Last year, right before the season, is when I started listening. I mean, I just saw, I was in a bunch of groups and I saw you post and I just clicked on one and watched it. And I was like, dang, this is pretty cool. So I kept listening to it. I finally found a Vols fan down here, and I live in Mississippi, but like 2 miles from the state line. And I finally found a Vols fan like 3 months or about 4 months ago. I finally found a Vols fan down here. Me and him's good friends. We went to the Florida game together and the LSU game together.
Nice. Dang.
Awesome.
Lucas in the chat bringing up a good point. Kevin, get to work. Make us a cigar emoji, please. You guys can go pick up the brand new cigar shirts. That's what he worked all day. Like, he's texting me last night at like 10:30 at night, and I fall asleep while he's still working on the shirt. Like, he's still working on it. I pass out, wake up the next morning, and this design is dialed in. So go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS and check out. Let me go to, I think it all, like the way he puts the designs together, it's so that they pop, whether it's a gray shirt, white shirt, black shirt, whatever color you go with, it kind of pops. I always think our stuff looks the best on the black shirts, but let's go with the white long sleeve t-shirt here and take a look at the design. That cigar, Xavier, how good does that cigar look? How good does that
clean.
look?
That's clean. Kev, you did a good job, bro. That's clean.
Awesome
I
job.
like it.
I love it, man. I love it. Again, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Dauber was explaining it earlier. If you don't know what It's Just Business is all about, Alabama put out a hype video, and it was Henry T. Conveniently, Henry T. is the guy that was doing the voiceover for the hype video, and he said it's not personal. It's just business. And anybody that was paying attention to that football game, it looked a little personal when Henry T. soccer kicked our quarterback in the face. That looked a little personal to me. And then so who was it I can't remember who it was in the locker room. He did the Henry T celebration and said it's not personal, it's just business, and took a big old
Princeton
fan.
fan.
Took a big old drag off the cigar. So I loved it. And look, one of the listeners in the chat sent me a tweet and said, Boogie, we need a shirt with the score that says it's just business. And we were off and running, and there it is. Hey, so if you ever have an idea and you're like, hey, this would be a cool shirt, all you got to do is DM me, tweet at me, and we'll see if we can make it happen. But I love that shirt, one of my favorite shirts. And then Wade's tattoo, man, that State Pride shirt, I think it's clean. I love the logo. It's one of the top sellers until we brought out Buck Fama. And now I'm excited to see how these new scoreboard business T-shirts do as well. Let me hit this super chat. Robert, 45, Tennessee for 10. If the Vols get by Kentucky, then the only team that will stand in the Vols' way is Georgia, short of having bad off days the next two games is all we have to worry about. I don't know that I disagree with that, but we'll one game at a time, right? Coach speak. Jody Wooten for 5. Wish I weren't on the road tonight. I really want to be on there. Did you see where Saban and Will Anderson, they actually had game anxiety playing us? I love it. Nick Saban was so pissed.
Huge.
I thought he was getting ready to break another headset.
I mean, the fact, I want people to just think about the fact that the almighty Alabama Crimson Tide had anxiety playing against the Tennessee Volunteers. For 15 years, I think Josh Pate said it earlier, that for 15 years, they were the ones that gave people anxiety. And on Saturday, our team was the one that gave them the anxiety.
Well,
that's how you know they're bad, like Tennessee.
Well, and me, Dauber, Boogie, and Gabe was talking about this, behind the scenes, is that I just find it funny how that you've won multiple national championship games and you have one loss out of this whole season, right? You lose to us and you over here crying about the penalties and the refs and yada, yada, yada. And it's just like, really, y'all sound like a bunch of sore losers. And that's just what it is, I mean, look, Tennessee has sucked. We have sucked for a long time. So, and like I said, us storming the field, that was for us. It wasn't for y'all. It was for us.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine just having such a joyless program that you can't find joy in something as wonderful as that was on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Caleb, the chat's going nuts, Caleb. Where did you get the glasses? Where did those come from? They're calling you the Uncle Lou of Tennessee football.
Oh, God.
How was that? I'm working at a Top Golf, and I had a buddy who knows. He's not even a football fan. I don't know where he got them, but he told me. He said, "Hey, go up to the break room, find you the Tennessee Vols glasses, and they're yours if you find them." So I grabbed them, brought them to the game, and I was
Pulled them out
trying
somebody's
to
locker.
Oh, wait a second. So you brought them to the game. So you were at the game. Tennessee's undefeated when you're in the stadium wearing those glasses. Where are you going to be every Saturday for the rest of the year?
I'm going to be at the stadium. Me and my buddy Danny went to the Florida game and the Bama game, and now everyone's telling us we got to show up to every game.
Yeah, you better be getting on the road to go to Georgia.
Yeah.
Look, well, let me ask you this, Caleb. Did you storm the field? Were you riding the goalpost to the river? Oh, that's what
I could not make it to the goalpost, but I was on the field. I mean, I couldn't even squeeze through. I'm not a big guy, but it was insane down there.
Yeah, what was the environment like? Being out there, being down on the field, what was it like?
Man, part of the biggest things that were getting me was the smell of the cigar smoke. Almost gave the whole thing like a vintage feel. And that was getting me. And then when they started playing Dixieland Delight, that's when I lost it. I just lost it.
Oh man, I was unsure if that was coming from the stadium or if that was coming from the CBS broadcast at first.
Man, I don't care where it came from.
And then I realized it was from the stadium, and I lost it watching the TV. I was like,
But how beautiful was that? Because again, we talk about Danny White and how much he pays attention. Somebody tweeted at him. Somebody tweeted at him and said, "Hey, when we beat Alabama on Saturday, can we play Dixieland Delight? Because everybody knows that song's about Tennessee." And now, I can't remember who it was that was on the show at the beginning, said they've been listening to it all week. Me too. Yeah, all week long, I've been listening to Dixieland Delight and getting emotional every time.
He is a master at like social media interactions. We gotta get on. We gotta get him on the beer barrel.
He's so incredible.
Yes.
At like understanding UT fans and really balancing professionalism, but also making it not feel like he's holier than thou and above everything and whatnot.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, we hit a jackpot.
Wait! I just saw something come across. You put a chat across the screen about Jimmy Himes saying something about it being No, there's no Did he really say that? Because that's how they opened up Sports Talk yesterday.
Jimmy Himes really?
They played Dixieland Delight opening up Sports Talk.
Some people get mad at me because I rip on Jimmy Himes every opportunity I get. That makes some people mad. Michael, do you care to bounce real quick? We got Shannon in the back. I want to get him added, and we're going to wrap the thing up. Anything you want to say on the way out the door?
I'm going to be at the Kentucky game, so I hope to see some people up there. Go Vols.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on, Michael.
Guys, I just got another update. Hot scored again.
Let me get Shannon on here. Look at Shannon with that backdrop, man. He's trying to show us up. Like, what type of show you running? Let's see if Bleed Orange.
I don't know, man. I like your arcade background, man.
I look like a 12-year-old child. Every teenage kid that watches the show is like jealous. Oh my gosh, Shannon's internet's breaking up. That sucks. He's got that beautiful backdrop and the internet's breaking up. Oh yeah, it's not working, man. It's not working. Hey, bounce out and see if you can come back in and see if it cleans up your internet a little bit. All right. And let's see if we can get Bleed Orange in here. What's up, Bleed Orange? This is even better. That's a man that might rip your throat out.
There it is.
He doesn't realize he's on.
There's a slight movement.
I'm scared for my life right now. Bleed Orange.
Undertaker.
Please tell me please tell me you like what we do here. Please, God.
Bleed Orange hasn't blinked in 20 years.
Please tell us you like us. Oh my gosh. All right, somebody go.
Can I bring up something?
Yes, absolutely.
I wanted to talk about that nobody has brought up and actually was alluded to on the other side of the conversation. But we've been saying for so long, and it's true that Nick Saban is the darling of the SEC, and they cater to him when he asks for rule changes. They call things his way, whatever. Am I the only one who feels a seismic paradigm shift in that regard, that he's fading? And I don't know if it's because he's complaining about the NIL or what he's done against the powers that be, or maybe people just are starting to really love Josh Heupel. Not only did the calls kind of seem to be more fair this time around, but I just feel a general shift, and I think Nick Saban feels it too.
Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead.
If I say, well, what it is, Joe, is like I said, with the NIL deals, that Bama knows that they're way behind in the NIL game. So the thing of it is, and I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. Like I predicted that I think Nick Saban is going to retire in probably the next 2 to 3 years if he can't keep up with NIL deal.
You say you can't keep up with NIL. That's my blue tick coonhound barking. If y'all hear that, but I say it's more everybody else gets to do out in the open what he's been doing for the past 15 years.
Yes.
Well, NIL is just it's allowed the whole college football world just a level playing field. So now, and he doesn't like that because he knows that now all these different teams and schools can compete with him. So, and he just doesn't like it.
That's why he's complaining about it, and then Jimbo retaliates, and then they go back and forth, and they've both been cheating for years. Gabe, you got something pulled up here. What do you got pulled up for us, buddy?
I got the
there's
practice
the helmet.
picture, the black helmet. The white and yellow or orange are just their practice uniforms. There's some interesting stuff in the comments. A lot of people are thinking that they're gonna wear them this week, which because normally they'll wear they would wear the smoky gray helmets the week of the smoky gray game. They're not gonna wear those this week. I'm just telling you, they're not. They will be wearing those next week for the dark mode night Halloween Kentucky game. Probably just go ahead and getting used to them. They probably had to get them fitted, all that sort of stuff. So wearing them throughout the week, but some very cool stuff. I mean, if it wasn't already pretty clear that it was happening, it's now. I mean, it's happening. They're literally wearing them out there on the field. So that I thought that picture was better than the Chase McGrath picture because there you can clearly see a player wearing the black helmet. Chase McGrath, you can sort of like half see the helmet.
Yeah.
So,
Let me ask you guys this because Buck has been going on and on and on, blowing up my DMs. He's posting, he's on Twitter, he's everywhere talking about the checkerboard. And I've on the flip side of that, I've seen Gabe saying literally no one wants this. I'm on record of saying if you're going to go dark mode, let's black out the stadium, all black. All right, and then Buck's camp wants to go checker Neyland, but black and orange. And then what do you guys think too? And Gabe, I'll let you answer first because you were so against the black and orange checker. But what do you guys think too? And this is a lot to unpack. But you see Nico a lot in pictures go maybe black pants, orange jersey. Right. What do you think about mixing that up? And why are you so against the black and orange? And then Dauber, you follow him up here.
Well, I think it's just something about it. It's not that I don't. It's not that I don't want to embrace the alternate colors because I do. I love the smoky grays. I love dark mode. I love the orange helmets. I love that. I hated when Jeremy Pruitt came in and said, "Oh, screw all that. We're going blank pants and black cleats." Like, all right, Grandpa. But
Papa Pruitt.
Yeah, Papa. But so I love this. It's just that. At this point, when is there going to be a home SEC game that we don't try and do something like that? That we don't try and pull sort of a gimmicky thing? I would be fine with a blackout, but then it's like, that kind of defeats the purpose. Like I like the orange out because it's all orange, our primary color. I like checker Neyland because white and orange looks good. It looks so clean. Black and orange is just not going to look the same. I promise.
You know what? I disagree. And I'm going to let Dauber follow this up. But look how smooth Xavier looks. Look how smooth black and orange looks. Dauber,
I like black and orange. I just don't think this checker Neyland Stadium black and orange is going to look the same. I just don't think it's going to look. I like the black and orange. That's why I like the dark mode uniforms. I just don't like the idea of not even as much as because it's just not going to look that great. But again, just because it's like, when are we going to stop doing gimmicky stuff for SEC home games? It's
Quit being a party pooper. Quit being a party.
Get him! Oh my gosh, the rivalry is born. Get him, Dauber! Get him, Dauber!
It's Halloween weekend. It is Halloween weekend.
So do a blackout.
No,
think
blackout's what Georgia does. Blackout's what all these other schools have done. Nobody's done black and orange checkerboard.
The checkerboard the white and orange checkerboard works because of how bright it is. Like you look at the other schools that tried to do like the stripe outs and stuff, and it was dull looking.
Grandpa Gabe.
If you think that I'm crazy, go look at the comments of that post.
No,
normally when stuff gets brought up, Vol Nation's like, yeah, let's do it. There are so many people in that comment section. I posted like 99, like on behalf of 90% of us, don't on behalf of 90% of us, no thank you. And some guy replied and was like, oh, more like 50-50. But you scroll down those comments, it's like, no, I don't think so. That would be ugly.
Let Dauber talk. I want to hear what Dauber has to say. Let Dauber talk.
Go ahead, Dauber.
Bend him over your knee, Dauber.
Get him, Dad.
Come on,
Papa.
Dad.
For all these people that are so against alternate uniforms and it's all orange and white and it's got to be orange, man, what have we not done the last 20 years? We've not won ball games. If these kids get excited about wearing a Smoky Mountain,
love that helmet.
Or
Love that helmet.
A boat helmet, let them wear it. Who cares? Who cares?
I totally edited Dauber's name, by the way. He doesn't know that yet, but I changed it.
I mean, look, this
talk.
uni's clean, man. This uni's clean. I say let them do it. Let them go orange and black. I love this.
Real talk, I loved the white helmet with the black outlines last year because I felt like it called back to the old away uniforms with the black outlines on the numbers. I loved that look.
I like that because you could read the numbers at an away.
Yes, and you can read the names.
I literally said out of my mouth for the people in the chat that I love the uniforms. I literally said it out of my mouth that I love the alternate uniforms. I love them.
Gabe's turned into a heel. They hate him. They hate him.
Man. I literally think they're the coolest thing in the world. But I'm talking about
Gabe's heel turn in 4K right here.
That's amazing. I love it.
I'm talking about the stands and the checker. But that is the only thing I'm speaking to. Not black and orange, whether it looks good together. Not whether it looks good on Halloween. Not about Halloween and how much I hate it, because I don't. But the simply speaking, the checker kneeling with the black and orange.
The entire chat has turned on Gabe in a matter of minutes. It started with the Kentucky thing, and now it's just completely blowing up now.
I was warned. I was warned about this.
I told you, Gabe.
I should have stopped at Kentucky isn't going to score more than 10.
I told you.
Man, that's 4
I told you
field
that
goals.
was the price you pay.
That's 4 field goals.
Okay.
What's up, Christopher? How you doing tonight, buddy?
Oh, good, man. I wanted to say sorry for the last time that I was on here for the echo in the restaurant. So
it's all good, dude. No, I'm never mad at anybody, but we're trying to put on a show. It's glad to have you on tonight. Glad to have you back on, man. What do you think about all this uniform talk and checker Neyland? What are you thinking, man?
I've been a fan since 1991. My first game was versus UCLA in Neyland Stadium, and my grandmother took me. We never had that back then, but ever since then, I've been digging the smoky grays and the. I've been wanting them to wear the orange, gray, and black helmets as an alternate, but they've never worn them, so I really want them to do that. Or the Pruitt era, we had of course, black and orange, so I really wanted to go back to that, but y'all are against that, so I would like to experiment with new uniforms. But
so do you guys think if they're doing dark mode for Kentucky, do you think
they're doing dark mode for Kentucky?
Yeah,
100%. Gabe's tweet nailed it. As much as you guys hate him right now, Gabe tweeted out, and I was like, "Oh, that's money." Because the first tweet I saw was Gabe's, and he said, "Night game, 7 o'clock, Kentucky, Tennessee. Tell me you're doing dark mode without telling me you're doing dark mode." They're doing dark mode.
Yeah, look at
that
the.
game.
I mean, look at the graphic.
Do you think that they do like Lane Kiffin did, and they come out and warm up?
I wouldn't.
No,
Just wear them out.
No, just wear them.
And then run through the tee.
No, I don't think
That was a cool moment, though. That was a cool moment because people like at the game were texting me saying, "Hey, they're warming up in their regular uniforms," and then they start texting me like, "Holy crap, they're lined up in the tunnel wearing black."
I was at that game. It was crazy. Like how excited people were when they lined up and they were in the black.
But I think now that people know, right? They know that we're, and I think it's a smart move, man. The kids love the uniforms. Like I said, Nico never comes on campus without wearing black, like every single time. We got some super chats. Let me hit these real quick. I told you guys we were only going to go an hour, so we'll wrap this thing up 30 minutes ago. James Deaton for $2. Let's go. Let's get Heupel paid ASAP. He just got a raise, but pay the man whatever he wants. GBO for $20. That ain't cheap. Just says go Vols. Thank you for that super chat, man. You guys support us financially, and it blows my mind. We appreciate that. Ashby Wilson for $5. Favorite clip is Saban saying, "What are you doing?" to Robinson after he muffed the punt. I felt kind of bad for him. What was he thinking? Stupid bonehead play, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Logan Brooks for $2. Y'all remember when 9-3 was a dirty wet dream? I certainly do. I certainly do. Power T for $10. That ain't cheap. We want the black and orange checkerboard. Let the team decide what they want to wear. Should I make a video on that? Buck has been harassing me for days about it, and I'm like, Buck, I'm literally getting ready to live stream right now, and he's messaging me, Boogie, can you make a video on the black and orange checkerboard? I'm like, Buck, give me a minute, bro. Give me a minute. Do you guys want a video? Should I gauge the fan base? I don't know that video would pull views. I don't know that it would pull views. But thank you, Power T, for the super chat. Appreciate that. We got to wrap this thing up here in the next few minutes. Let's throw it around the room here and say. We kind of touched on this earlier, but we'll start at the top with Dauber, and we'll roll around everybody, give everybody a voice here. Tennessee's sitting at 6-0, man, 6-0. We talked about the importance of going undefeated in September. Took care of business. Beat LSU, beat Alabama. Nobody thought we would be sitting at 6-0. What is the ceiling, and what is the floor, and what are your expectations as we finish out this season? Year 2, man. It's year two.
Can you throw the schedule back up there?
Yeah, I'll throw it up there for those of you. There we go. Boom.
All right, so we're into the back half of the season. When we looked at this, we said 8-4. I think a lot of us were 8-4, and that's kind of it. We've already won 3 games that were considered toss-ups, 1 game that was a guaranteed loss. So now we go to the back half of the season, and you've got the Kentucky game that was a toss-up, the Georgia game that was a loss. And some people were South Carolina, a toss-up, but after the way they started the year, everybody was like, oh, South Carolina, that's a win. And it's funny how even on this stream, we've had a few people say, that Georgia game, I'm not worried about that. But South Carolina at the end, what about that? Man, remember when November was your practice for bowl game. Well, remember going undefeated in November. Boogie did a video talking about Coach Josh Heupel and Red October. Well, listen, we're UT Martin and we're Kentucky's daddy away from having Orange October. The only game that I'm concerned about is Georgia. I think Kentucky's going to be a ball game, and I think it's going to be a back and forth, but I think Tennessee is the better team. I have no doubts about South Carolina, and Vanderbilt, man, just chalk that up as a glorified scrimmage.
What about you, Xavier? What's your expectations as we wrap this thing up?
Yeah, I agree with Dauber 100%. UT Martin, easy dub, and I don't think that we're, overlooking them or anything like that. Georgia and Kentucky, yeah, those are going to be the 2 final stretches in our season, and I love our matchup with Kentucky. I think that, we do come out top on that game. The only team I'm concerned is Georgia. and it could go down to the wire just like it did with Alabama. And whoever comes out of that, it is what it is. But yeah, but South Carolina, Vanderbilt, Missouri, easy dubs, cupcake, easy.
Yeah, what do you got, buddy? Break it down.
Well, ceiling is 12-0. Floor is 11-1.
Really?
I again, it's the way this
only
team
interrupted
prepares,
you.
man.
The total disrespect.
It's the way this team prepares. I don't think after a hard-fought Georgia game, Tennessee's going to go out there and have any chance of losing to Missouri. I just think it's the way they prepare, the way they recover. I truly believe in that, and that they believe that, and I believe that they believe that. I believe in them. So I think 11-1 is the floor. 12-0 is the ceiling. I think this team can go out and do anything. I think they can go and play Georgia and beat them, beat Alabama again in the SEC championship, and then go beat Ohio State in the national championship.
Gosh, sign me up for that.
I'm not saying that's that's not my prediction. That's my belief. I believe that they are capable. Whether it happens or not, I don't know, because Georgia is going to be the biggest challenge. And if we get to the playoff against Ohio State, that's going to be a crazy game.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's personally my expectations for the rest of this season.
How does it feel to be a YouTuber and have an echo in your ear? You learn how to adapt to that?
Yeah.
Joel, what do you got, buddy? Give us your expectations. So I got to figure out who the echo is. It's Christopher. Go ahead, Joel.
You asked us, Boogie, at the beginning of the season for our predictions. I gave mine 10-2, and I said we would beat either Bama or Georgia. And I said that before Roman Harrison said it a couple days later.
I like it.
A couple days later, suspiciously. Anyway, I think he's reading your comments section.
Always.
I mean, I'm kind of stunned still that we're undefeated, and I think Georgia's the only one that's going to challenge us. I think we're going to continue to prepare well through the regular season. I think Georgia's the only one that's going to challenge us, and I think 11-1 is the floor now.
I love it, man. Thanks for coming on. Let me say this, Joel. Let me say this.
Yes.
I'm going to give you a little pep talk right here live on air in front of everybody. Last week you came on and you were a little shy.
I drank a half a bottle of Jim Beam before.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, Joel. Tonight you killed it, man. Tonight you killed it. Tonight was great.
Thanks.
Hey.
No, there's something wrong with that. He drank
more than me.
I finished the bottle by the fourth quarter, boys. I don't play around.
Excuse me? How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? Joel, you were a blast tonight, buddy. Thanks for coming on. Hope you start joining us every Tuesday and let your voice be heard, man. You're good. It's a lot of fun having you on.
Appreciate it.
All right, later, buddy. All right, let's roll on to Christopher. Let me unmute him now that we got the echo fixed. Let's see here. There we go. Christopher, what do you got, buddy? Give us your expectations from here on out.
Well, we've accomplished more than we already had. And then I think, like Dodger and you and Xavier and Gabe said, Georgia is the only one standing in our way. I will be in Athens at a bar. I can't afford a $700 ticket. Sanford Stadium. I'll be at a bar. But I think if we beat Georgia, just like Gabe said, 11-1 or 12-0, and we go to the SEC championship game, play Alabama or Ole Miss, whoever makes it, and I think that we win out.
I love it, man. Thanks for coming on, and I hope you're not mad at me for bouncing you last week.
No.
It's all good, man.
It was my fault because I was at the restaurant and I didn't know that you were going to bring me in, so I was just like, oh no, they're going to kick me out.
It's all good, buddy. Good to have you on tonight. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Thank you, Boogie, and thanks for all y'all do. Thank you very much.
All right, later, buddy. Let me hit this super chat real quick. Brent for $10. Thank you for super chat. Says Hyatt and Tillman combo is going to be scary. That's the thing a lot of people are sleeping on, and a lot of people want to talk about what Alabama was missing or what happened in that game. Nobody wants to talk about the fact that we don't have our best wide receiver on this football team
Not just
right
Hyatt
now.
Tillman, not just Hyatt Tillman, Hyatt Tillman and McCoy.
Yep.
Brew McCoy, I'm shocked to be saying this right now. Brew McCoy has been sold short the past couple weeks. He just has.
Dude, that catch he made towards the end of the game, that's like Hyatt is running free, right? That scheme and athletic
That was a
ability,
grown man
speed. Brew McCoy, yes, grown man.
Grown man. That was the Jawan Jennings-esque, like just manhandle anyone you go up against. Brew McCoy is underrated right now by Tennessee fans. I'm telling you, man.
But that's what has needed to be exploited all along was his size and his athletic ability. And I think it was almost a shortfall of the length of time he had with Hendon Hooker and Hendon Hooker's familiarity and comfort level with Cedric Tillman that kept Brew McCoy from getting the ball early in the season. But I said it when Tillman went down, I said, this is going to either go one of two ways. It's going to make the offense bog down and struggle, or it's going to force Hooker to rely on other guys, and you're going to see, an emergence of Brew McCoy because they're going to have to rely on him and throw more balls to him. So, Hooker has done nothing but, if not be steady Eddie, he's gotten better because he's now distributing the ball.
Absolutely.
Robert, the chat was asking earlier if you were awake. I know you're awake. I can see
Been
you
awake
breathing.
the whole time.
I can see you breathing, buddy. What do you think? What's your expectation moving forward? What's the ceiling? What's the floor?
I said 9-3. I figured Georgia and Alabama were losses, and we'd split Florida, LSU, and I was leaning with the third loss being LSU. But now with the way it's sitting, the ceiling, I'm like Gabe. Ceiling's a natty. The floor 11-1. So yeah, I feel pretty good about that. And actually, I'm where you are, Boogie. I'm not going to bet against Josh Heupel again until they lose. Saturday my head was saying Bama, my heart was saying Tennessee, my head kept saying Alabama. But I'm glad my heart won. So
that's where I'm at, man. I go on with Eric Kane every single week and do Locked On Vols, and I told him I'm not picking against Josh Heupel from here on out. I will not do it.
Until he loses until they lose a game, I'm with them 100%. They're going to win every one. So
let me tell you something, buddy. Next week, next Tuesday, when you come on the fan call in, you got to fight. You got to tell these guys to shut up and let you talk, buddy. Yeah, there you go. Hey, I appreciate you coming on. Always enjoy seeing you in the chat and the comments.
I love y'all's videos, man. I watch them every morning. Watch you every
morning.
Appreciate
it, buddy.
Yes,
appreciate it. Have a good night, Robert.
Yes, sir. Bye.
All right, Mr. Mr. Tattoo, Mr. Talkin VAWLS. You got a Talkin VAWLS tattoo before me and Dauber. Me and Dauber have already said, hey, if the price is right, if the right amount of super chats come in, we'd get the microphone that's right over Dauber's beautiful hair there. We would get that microphone, not in the same location. We're not going to be like the Bobsey twins with matching tattoos, but we would get that. With the right price, I bet that microphone would be tattooed on me and Dauber. I guarantee you that would happen.
We've got one that's pretty similar already.
I know, it's embarrassing, dude. And what's bad is I want the TriStar, and I'm like, we can't have two. We can't have two similar tattoos. Like, that's embarrassing. Wade, what do you got, buddy? What's your expectation moving forward for these last few games?
I mean, I think we can go to the national championship and win it. That's the ceiling. The floor to me would be 10-2. I said at the beginning of the year we were going to be 11-1 with a win over either Bama or Georgia. We've already gotten to that spot, so I mean we can beat Georgia if we go out and play the game the way we played against Bama. I think we can beat them. I think we could win the national championship if we keep playing like we're playing right now. But I mean, it's hard to say that we wouldn't slip up. Georgia's a good football team. It's going to be a good game. They got a better defense than Bama does, but I don't think their offense is as good as Bama is. Even though our defense has lacked so much this year, I still think that we could beat them. But I think the floor would be 10-2 for me.
That's the beautiful thing about it. Nobody thought we were going to beat Pitt on the road. Nobody thought we were going to beat Florida. Nobody thought we were going to beat LSU. Nobody thought we were going to beat Alabama. But here we are. We can beat anybody, Wade. We can beat anybody.
I think we can too.
All right, buddy. Thanks for coming on. It blows my mind. Like, not to disrespect anybody in the chat, you
I'll
may
hit him
be
with
my
a flex to leave.
You may be my favorite listener of all time. You're the first human being on planet Earth with a Talkin VAWLS tattoo. I love it, man. I love it. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
It's a sweet tat. Thank you.
I like it.
I
like it. Later, buddy. All right, Gary. Gary, you've been awesome. You're a little shy because you got your camera off, but you got that. Look at that. You got that big grin on your face.
I don't have a webcam on my computer right now.
It's all good, buddy. It's all good. You've been great tonight. It's been fun chatting with you. What do you think rest of the way? What's the floor and the ceiling?
Bro, the ceiling is obviously a natty. The floor is a sugar bowl. That's where it's at. Kentucky, I'm not worried about. I mean, we've been sitting here talking about Kentucky. I'm not worried about Kentucky. That offensive line is beyond suspect. Will Levis has been sacked 20 times this season. He's going to get at least 4 more sacks against us. Georgia is going to be a hard-fought game. That's the only defense that we're going to go up against that I would label as elite. So we'll see what our elite offense does against an elite defense. But Stetson Bennett is not Bryce Young. And he's not going to be able to run away from the pressure like Bryce Young did. So I think that if our offense can jump ahead early, then I don't know that Georgia has the horses to keep up like Alabama did.
I tend to agree with that.
Missouri, that's home game. That's senior night. We ain't dropping that.
No.
South Carolina, we're not going to drop that, but it could be a trap game because that's their senior night. And they're going to be looking to ruin both our season and Clemson's season the week after.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't think that could be a trap game, but I trust Josh Heupel. Like, LSU could have been a trap game. Akron
It depends. It depends on Spencer Rattler. Which Spencer Rattler do we get for South Carolina?
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably the one that has been here the whole season.
Trash.
The one that's
Trash. Yeah.
Trash. Yep.
Yeah. Like, he had an opportunity to come to South Carolina and do something special, and he showed up and he's been trash the whole time. All right, Gary, we appreciate you coming on, buddy. It's been a great time. Hope you'll join us more Tuesdays moving forward. I love these fan call-in shows. I know Dauber loves them. Always a great time. Appreciate you coming on, buddy.
Oh, thanks, man. Next time I get on my computer, I'll make sure to hook up my webcam.
Sounds good. I'm just giving you a hard time. Your audio sounds clean. That's all that matters, buddy. Thanks for coming on, man.
All right, have a good one.
Listen, before we hop off, I just want to go ahead and let people know to go ahead and get in on the under for Kentucky's points here in a couple of weeks.
Lord have mercy. Shut up, Gabe. I'm trying to plug some T-shirts and make some money. Go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. You guys know you want this business shirt. I love it, man. It's one of the best designs we've ever done. It's not going anywhere, but it's not limited edition. It's going to be around for a while, so if you need to wait to pick one up, that's cool. But you can go check it out, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Somebody in the chat earlier said, wait a second, what is this state pride you're talking about? We have all kinds of shirts. We got this VAWLS by Fitty. It's the old school VAWLS logo with the new memes. You guys know what it is. Don't matter, VAWLS by Fitty. Here's the state pride merchandise. This is what Wade's got tattooed on his arm. It's the cleanest logo we have. A lot of people love it. Probably one of the top sellers until we did Buck Fama. We got the mustard themed shirts for those that want that. Talkin VAWLS Elite. If you know, you know. Beat Bama, beat Florida, beat Georgia, and also let people know that we are Kentucky's daddy. All kinds of merch, man. Somebody picked up a hat today. Look, it's almost basketball season. And I think, I've talked to Dauber, I've talked to Xavier. I've said, what can we do, man? Like, I cannot stream during the week during basketball season. I think we're going to stream on Sunday nights at 7 and just kind of recap the night or recap the week and talk about basketball. It'll be laid back. It'll be chill. None of us pretend to be basketball experts, but we can get on here and we can talk about the games that we've watched. If you're a basketball fan, go check out the TBA Jam shirts, NBA Jam, TBA Jam, Thompson Bowling Arena. You guys know what it is. But again, any and all support, greatly appreciated. Go join the channel, man. Join the channel for as little as 99 cents a month. These fan call-in shows are a blast, and that's how you get on, is by becoming a member of the channel. Gabe wants to talk. What's up, Gabe?
I was just going to add that if you need a little extra money to buy one of those epic Talkin VAWLS t-shirts, go ahead and get in on the under on Kentucky's points for a couple.
I knew that was you was going to say that.
See how quick I can do that?
Yeah. If you need a little extra cash, Go ahead and get in on that under.
So wait a second. Are you going to bet? Let's iron out a bet right now. You and Dauber, how much money do you all want to bet? You're taking 10 points. So if Kentucky scores 11 or more, what's the bet?
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Wait. Let's do something embarrassing.
No.
Not money.
Right
Like
there.
Like Gabe shaves his head if Kentucky scores more than 11 or more. Gabe shaves his head.
I ain't doing that. I actually did that like a couple months ago, and I do not want to do that again. Not off of a bet. I just decided that I was gonna. Yeah, my hair grows back extremely fast. But I buzzed it, and it did, I did not love it.
Maybe you can change your YouTube name to Dauber was right or Dauber's son.
No, Dauber's son. If Kentucky scores 11 or more, you have to change your name to Dauber's son for a month. For a month of morning shows, a month of fan call-in shows, and so what does Dauber have to do? What does he have to change his name to? You can pick what he changes his name to.
I don't know. I'll need some time to think about it.
Well, I think that's the bet. Yeah. I think that's a great bet, Xavier. Dauber's son, or you can come up with an idea for Dauber's name. I think that's a great bet. Let me hit these last couple of super chats. David for 2. Hold on, let me hit these super chats real quick. David for 2. Don't forget about Keaton. Absolutely not. He's balling out. Charles for 10. Flores 6-6 and get cheated in the Music City Bowl. Not happening. I appreciate the $10. Not happening. Go ahead, Dauber, and then we'll wrap this thing up.
So the last prior to Josh Heupel's 2 years or year and a half at Tennessee, you had 11 seasons that encompassed Derek Dooley, Butch Jones, and Jeremy Pruitt. In SEC play, Derek Dooley was 5-19 in 3 years. Butch Jones was 14-26 in 5 years. Pruitt was 10-16 in 3 years. Josh Heupel, through a year and a half, is 7-4. So he has already topped Dooley's SEC wins. He is 3 away from Pruitt's, and he is halfway through Butch Jones's 5-year win total in the SEC play.
That is ridiculous.
So that puts a little perspective on why, and I wanted to say this as we were talking, why did fans rush the field? It wasn't because we beat Bama. Beating Bama is great. Beating a ranked team is great, but we didn't – that's not what it is. It's 20 years of mediocrity. Mm-hmm. It's 20 years of being irrelevant. And like I said the other day, it's not – I don't want to say we're back. I want to say we're here. And we're here to stay. That's it.
Like I said, when we rushed the field,
I was texting. I thought you were going to keep going.
Yeah, like I said, when we bum rushed the field, man, that was for us. We have all that just misery and depression just built up over the years. It's just, and like you said, Dob, it wasn't because it is because we beat Alabama, but that's because we were celebrating. And everybody says it feels like 98. That specific moment felt like 98. But
you know what? Screw everybody that doesn't get it. Well, screw them all. 15 years of losing to a team? Screw, every freaking team in the country is going to storm the field and rip the goalpost down.
Right.
Go take a look at the Fall of the Vols series. Go look at what backing into the national or the SEC championship when Fulmer won, I think it was 10 games, and then won 5 the next year and then was fired. And then from that point on, the hiring of Lane Kiffin and what came after, to the hiring of Josh Heupel. And listen, it was not the sexy hire. It was not the big name. It was not, but I'll tell you what, the big hire was Danny White, because that man has turned around not just the football program. And like he said when he came in, It was rebuild the brand of Tennessee athletics, and that's across the board. But he tried his damnedest not to go get the coach that he just left at Central Florida. But that was the best guy for the job, and he knew it. And a lot of people dogged him for that hire, and a lot of people dogged Josh Heupel for when he came in and doing all this team building and this, all these exercises and stuff. But that's what that team needed. They needed somebody to come in and be a leader. And you look at the way this team has responded. You look at, the way that these guys have come in and gotten better. They've been coached up, and they are progressing week to week to week. And that's why we are moving the goalpost further along. From 8-4 to let's go play for the national championship. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Feels like 98. Hey, I got that my brother's already designed a Feels Like 22 shirt. I was like, we can't drop that unless they win a natty. Then we'll drop it. Marler TV says, does that make Boogie JP's son? No, JP's my papaw. I call him Papaw JP for a reason, because JP is an old man in like a 45-year-old's body.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. It's like every time it's me, Dauber, and JP in the back. We're not live. We're like chilling out 5 minutes, and JP comes in every time. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear? It's like, yes, JP. It's the same setup you've had for 5 years. We can hear you. It's okay. Papaw JP, I love JP. Dude, I hate that he was on vacation this week. I really do. Because, like, this is his game. Like, this is the one he wanted more than anything. Like, I've texted him this week. He's so excited, man. He's so happy. And I wish he could jump on tomorrow with me and Dauber, but he won't be able to. So we'll get him on hopefully next week. Ashby Wilson says, Xavier, drop your socials. Xavier, you're not on Twitter, are you?
I don't have Twitter, man.
Yeah, that's the thing is, like, I plug. You can see them all scrolling across the bottom. Me, Dauber, Snake, JP, and then Gabe. You can see our Twitters going across the bottom. Xavier's not. We got to get Xavier on Twitter.
Yeah, I got to get a Twitter. I'm thinking about getting on the Twitter, but like I said, I'm on Facebook and Instagram. I'm also on Snap, so.
But that's your personal life, man. Like, that's your personal life. You got to separate. Like, I don't accept Facebook friend requests. I don't let people follow me on Instagram. I don't, like, it's very limited. It's very I keep a tight bubble. But Twitter is kind of fun. Like, we got to get you on Twitter, Xavier. We got to get you on Twitter just for the sake of the show. And you can interact with people. Like, Gabe's a great follow. Gabe's out there tweeting, retweeting Tennessee stuff.
Saying some very controversial things, apparently.
Yeah, pissing people off. And Xavier, you can piss some people off too. I think you should get on Twitter, man. I think for the sake of the show, I think people would enjoy you being out there. Yeah, 100%. We got to wrap this thing up. I said an hour. It's 2 freaking hours. It's 11. That was my wife texting me. She's like, my wife's like, okay, I'm going to bed. Like, if you're going to stay up any longer, just stay in the living room until you're ready to go to sleep. So let's wrap this freaking show up, dude. The fan call-in shows, I love them. You guys tonight was the best one ever. Like, you're looking at 4 hosts of Talkin VAWLS, and we're like, let's shut up and let the people talk. You guys killed it tonight, man. You guys killed it tonight. It was really good. It was a lot of fun. Cedar says, are you Boogie or the Talkin? I'm both. Cedar. I run both of them. So you can follow either one of them. I control both of them. But we got to wrap this thing up. Go check out the merch. Go check out that brand new scoreboard shirt. I love that shirt. It's a great, great shirt. Go check it out. We'll be live. What is today? Tuesday. We'll be live tomorrow, 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be live for Talkin VAWLS Live. We got a special guest coming up soon. I'll let you know as soon as we confirm it. Next week, Eric Kane, I'm sure, will be back on the show. I'm thinking about reaching out to Ben McKee, see if he wants to come on the show for Kentucky week. He texted me and said, hey, man, I'm down to come on anytime. So thank you guys for the support. Keep sharing, keep talking, keep telling people about.
Ooh. Every time.
Well, I was going to wrap the show. I feel like we need to give you guys another 30 minutes. Because Micah says, here's another 300. Micah, you're a freaking nut job, man. I'll play the clip for you, though.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
Were you just sitting and waiting?
He was.
Boogie said, we're getting ready to wrap this up.
I think that's what he does. He waits till I'm about to play the outro, and he's like, "Here's like $500. You got to stick around." $300, Micah. You're a freaking nut job, man. But we appreciate it. You're keeping the light bill paid around here. You're paying mortgages and car payments. We appreciate it, Micah, for $300. I don't even know what to say about it. They're dropping those $1 million man emojis in the chat. It says picked us 8-4 before the season. Feel like we will go 11-1 and win a natty. I haven't seen this. What is that? I don't know that word. Desire like this team. Desire like this team since 97-98. But feel the desire and focus is more. This team and Vol Nation are family. This family is here to stay, and we aren't going anywhere. NCAA, are you ready? Love you guys. Thank you, Micah. They're not ready. I'll tell you that right now. They are not ready. That's why they're coming into videos. They're coming into live streams. Georgia fans, Ohio State fans, Alabama fans, they're pissed. They hate the fact that Tennessee is back. They cannot stand it.
If you thought Tennessee fans were insufferable, and intolerable, and just you couldn't stand them when they were down, just wait.
I'm going to be the worst fan ever. I'm already talking trash to everybody that comes into the comment section.
We're going to be very madfully disrespectful. I will say that. Look, respectfully disrespectful.
I'm not going to be respectful at all. I'm going to be a dick. I am coming so hard and aggressive at every Alabama fan that comes in the chat and having so much fun, and they're sending me like middle finger emojis. I'm like, oh, you big tough internet guy. You're so upset. You're so sad. Do you need a Kleenex? Hey, we got to wrap this thing up. Yeah. Micah, thank you for sending us out on a big positive note. We appreciate the gigantic super chat. You're the man. I'm actually just going to leave it up. I'm going to leave it up the entire time the outro plays.
If any of y'all want a post-stream activity and y'all have Twitter, go check out Justin Rowland, Kentucky. He's a writer for Kentucky Rivals. Go read his Twitter feed and let him know your thoughts. Let him know. Be honest. Let him know your thoughts. He says some very interesting things. So y'all have fun with that.
All right, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you, guys. Great fan call-in show. We're right at 2 hours. I told you guys we weren't doing 2 hours. Here we are at 2 hours. For Dauber, for Xavier, for Gabe, my name's Boogie Bentley. Great show. Love you guys. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. Go Big Orange.
That we call